Hey history buffs, welcome back to another thrilling episode on Forgotten Epoch. Today we're going to explore a lesser known yet fascinating event, the Great Emu War of 1932. So buckle up, adventure awaits, and together let's dive into this unique chapter of history. Set in the backdrop of post-World War I Australia, the Great Emu War took place in Western Australia's Campion district. After the war, the Australian government encouraged veterans to take up farming in the region. The emus, native to Australia, had been causing havoc for local farmers by destroying their wheat crops. In response, the Australian government decided to step in and take action. What followed was an unexpected and unconventional war against these flightless birds. The emu population had been growing rapidly during this period, mainly due to the increased availability of food and water from the newly established farms. The emus had been migrating to the region to breed, and the large numbers of birds created significant problems for the farmers. Their vast numbers and voracious appetites led to extensive crop damage, and the farmers desperately needed a solution. The Australian government, led by Minister of Defence Sir George Pearce, deployed soldiers armed with machine guns to combat the emu invasion. The hope was that eliminating the emus would protect the farmers' livelihoods and potentially provide food for the soldiers as well. Major G.P.W. Meredith of the 7th Heavy Battery of the Royal Australian Artillery was placed in command of the operation. The soldiers began their mission on November 2, 1932. But things didn't go as planned. The emus were surprisingly agile and fast, reaching speeds up to 31 miles per hour. This, combined with their spread-out formations, made it difficult for the soldiers to effectively target the birds. As a result, the emus emerged victorious in this bizarre conflict. After the initial failure, the soldiers tried different tactics, such as ambushes and mounted attacks, but they were still unable to defeat the emus. The operation was temporarily halted on November 8th, after using more than 2,500 rounds of ammunition with minimal success. The Great Emu War began to receive widespread media attention, and many criticized the government's handling of the situation. Some even began to sarcastically refer to the conflict as a war, mocking the soldiers' inability to defeat the birds. Despite the public outcry, the government decided to relaunch the operation on November 13th. This time the soldiers achieved slightly better results, but they were still far from declaring victory. The operation was ultimately deemed too costly and inefficient, and it was abandoned on December 10th. After several failed attempts to control the emu population, the Australian government ultimately withdrew the soldiers and looked for alternative solutions. The Great Emu War is now remembered as an embarrassing and futile effort that showcased the resilience and adaptability of these native birds. This unusual historical event highlights the importance of understanding and adapting to the natural world, rather than resorting to brute force. It also serves as a reminder that sometimes the best laid plans can go awry when pitted against the unpredictability of nature. In the years that followed, the Australian government focused on other methods to control the emu population and protect farmers' crops. They introduced a bounty system, which led to the killing of thousands of emus and provided a more effective means of population control. The Great Emu War of 1932 remains an intriguing and humorous chapter in history. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on more fascinating stories from history's hidden corners, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon.